Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Inspire Toons 3D. Today we are going to know about a story called K. Madhavan Integrity Against Power. This documentary unfolds not with spectacle or scandal but with silence. It begins in a small South Indian town shaped by routine, restraint, and order, where early mornings are marked by temple bells, sun dried school uniforms, and disciplined lives lived without noise. It is here that K. Madhavan is introduced, not as a hero, but as a lean, observant child with neatly oiled black hair, dark brown eyes, and a serious face that listened more than it spoke. From the beginning, he observes the world quietly, forming a psychological foundation rooted in the belief that exists for a reason and must be protected. As Madhavan walks alone to school in pressed cloaks and polished shoes, discipline becomes second nature. He does not dominate classrooms or seek attention. Instead, he observes, remembers, and internalizes. Disorder unsettles him. Shortcuts discomfort him. Even as a boy, he is instinctively aligned with structure and fairness, not ambition. When the narrative moves into his college years, temptation surrounds him in the form of competition, shortcuts, and personal ambition. Yet Madhavan remains unchanged. Physically austere, clean shaved, dressed plainly, and without accessories, he chooses to study law, governance, and ethics, not to wield power, but to understand its limits. He comes to believe that authority without accountability inevitably leads to decay. Civil service for him is not a dream of influence, it is a moral responsibility. Entering India's investigative machinery, Madhavan's presence as an officer is defined by medium height, straight posture, composed eyes, a sharp nose, and slow, precise speech. His uncluttered office mirrors his orderly mind, files are aligned, paperwork is exact, silence is respected. Among colleagues, he earned a reputation of a rigidity. Among superiors, for a predictability. Ironically, this predictability, his refusal to bend, improvise, or perform, makes him dangerous to corruption. The story then enters its first major rupture, 1986, when the Bofors arm deal erupts into public consciousness. India's 1437 crore contract with the Swedish arm manufacturer AB Bofors is exposed by Swedish radio to have involved illegal kickbacks paid through foreign intermediaries and Swiss bank accounts. The allegations threaten the highest level of political power and strike at the heart of defense procurement. When the case reaches Madhavan as part of the CBI leadership handling the investigation, visible signs of strain began to appear. Dark circle formed under his eyes, his silences grew longer, his blinks slow, but his resolve hardens. At a time when explanations are offered verbally and pressure mounts to close the matter, Madhavan refuses assurances and trusts only evidences. He insists on paper trails, financial records, and documented proof. He pushes for letters rogatory, international cooperation, and bank transaction evidence in an era before digital tools or global transparency. Following money across borders in the late 1980s is painstaking and politically fraught. Swiss banking secrecy levels resist disclosure. International cooperation is reluctant. Within India, institutional resistance grows. Madhavan is transferred, sidelined, and procedurally constrained. Yet, he does not react publicly. He does not protest, resign, or dramatize. He documents everything and continues to work within the system, enduring quite political pressure through delays, isolation, and professional marginalization. It is during this period that the name Bofors Madhavan is born, not as a title at first, but as a whispered label inside power corridors signaling an officer who refuses to let the file die. The documentary makes clear that Bofors is not left unresolved due to incompetence. It stalls because of structural liabilities, pre-digital banking, limited international leverage, political shifts, and deliberate institutional slowing. Madhavan does not deliver dramatic convictions, but he delivers credibility. He establishes that the kickback trail is real, that resistance is systematic, and that even the most powerful can be investigated. His contribution is moral and institutional, not theatrical. The emotional cost of not bending now becomes central. Madhavan is professionally isolated. There is no press support, no public praise, no heroic framing. Conscience becomes his only companion. His physical stillness, his refusal to panic, rush, or retaliate becomes symbolic of his integrity. The documentary reinforces a hard truth. Integrity is often lonely and its price is invisibility. As Madhavan's career unfolds, the narrative shifts to a booming financial India of the late 1980s and early 1990s. Liberalization looms, stock market surge, oversight remains weak. Into this environment rises Harshad Mehta, a charismatic, sharply dressed stockbroker with expressive eyes, luxury suits, and confident gestures. He represents a new India, one intoxicated by speed, money, and applause. Harshad's rise stands in stark contrast to Madhavan's resistance and simplicity. Where one operates quietly within rules, the other exploits their absence. Through fake bank receipts, exploited interbank loopholes, and paper based trust systems, billions are moved without real money. When bank begins to fail, market crash, and public trust evaporates, investigations reveal not just a criminal but a permissive system that rewards silence and negligence. The documentary is careful not to portray Harshad Mehta merely as a villain. Instead, he is framed as a symptom of structural failure. Madhavan is not the public face of Harshad Mehta investigation in a way he is associated with Bofors, but as a senior CBI leader, his influence is institutional and philosophical. He supports an evidence-driven approach that focuses on systematic accountability, banking failures, regulatory lapses, and institutional negligence rather than sensational scapegoating. The connection between Bofors and the Securities scam become the spine of the story. Different domains, defense procurement and financial markets, but the same disease. Bofors taught Madhavan that corruption survives when power silences institutions. Harshad Mehta proves that corruption thrives when system rewards silence. One involves foreign kickbacks, the other domestic loopholes. Both expose how accountability erodes when institutions hesitate. Painful but necessary reforms follow the securities scam, electronic trading, tighter banking regulations, and greater institutional accountability. These changes come too late for many, but they validate Madhavan's lifelong philosophy that scams do not begin with criminals, they begin with silence. In the final episode, Madhavan retired quietly. There are no farewell speeches, no public honors, no national celebration. He is now an elderly man with salt and pepper hair, a lined face, straight posture, and calm eyes. He does not look back in bitterness. He stands as living proof that some individuals do not change history loudly but prevent it from collapsing. The series ends exactly as it began, in silence. And in that silence, it leaves behind its enduring message. Integrity does not shout, it endures. If you like this story, please hit the like button. Please do comment on what you think about this video. Please do share this video with your friends and family members. Thank you for watching.